Hello everyone. This is part 2 of the training session for enrolling using the Ontrack Staff Hub. As I indicated in the previous training video, the Ontrack Staff Hub is used by tutors for marking their registers. It's been adapted to be a type of rapid enrolment to make enrolling the learners easier for frontline and administrative staff. The only downside of the adaptation is that you can't record fees in the Staff Hub. You have to go back to EBS Central to record the fees. So this session is a reminder on what you need to do in terms of recording the fees. Now, I'm starting at the end of the enrolment process using the Staff Hub. I've just enrolled this learner on the oil painting course. And as you can see on the summary page, this is a concessionary learner on universal credit. So the charge for the course is £28, not 107, which is the standard fee amount. So once you reach this part of the process, you've got the confirmation of the fee there, £28, which is correct. Now, when I click on the finish button, I'm on the learner enrollments page. And on the menu, if I come down to the bottom and I've got print learning agreement, it's opened the learning agreement for me. But as you can see here, the fee due is £135. That is a combination of both the tuition fee and the concessionary fee. And obviously this is wrong. So our issue here is at this point in time, you don't really want to print the learning agreement or hand over a learning agreement that's got the combined fee. In order to get the correct fee, I'll just close this down at the top here. In order to get the correct fee, you then need to be in EBS Central. So if I refresh the screen, I've just made that enrolment in the Staff Hub. So when I come into EBS Central for this learner, on their enrolment tab, you'll see the enrolment here. And then this is where I now need to start creating the fee. So here, the learner was on universal credit. So in terms of the waiver that I'm attaching, I changed the N to a Y, but also I've ticked that I've seen the evidence. So I'll also tick that. So I've made that change. I'm attaching the waiver and I'm saving. You'll then get this message come up. And yes, you do want to regenerate the fees. So select OK. And as you can see, it's now the £28, which is the correct fee. So I then click on the payments tab. I'm in the fees tab and it's a concession. So if you look across here, the tuition is 0, which is correct because it's removed the tuition amount because I've attached the waiver. So the concession is the £28. So in the fee, I'm selecting the course by changing an N to a Y. And you can see at the bottom of the screen here, all the relevant information has been populated. The actual fee is correct. Okay. And then at the top here, I'm clicking on Pay Selected. That has saved the fee and now pushed me through to the receipts field. So the receipt amount is correct, it's £28. The receipt type must be payment. Who to pay is defaulted to learner. Across the column here, payment method, very important and compulsory. You need to indicate whether you've processed the payment through AIMS, credit card, or cash. And we'll be very interested to know how many cash payments we've had to take during this enrolment period. So it is important, as I say, that you make the right selection here. Then going back to the description, you want to indicate what the course code was. You've taken the payment, so you need to put in either the receipt number or the AIMS code. Put in either your own name or your initial, what site you're at. So I put myself, Pat Hammond, at Idea Store Canary Wharf. And ideally as well, just for reference, maybe the date as well. Okay, so there we have a recorded payment, and then save. You then have the confirmation at the top of the screen here. So if I now go back to the staff hub, I'm still in this learner's record. The enrolment obviously stays as it was, it has been done. If I refresh the page and now come down to print learning agreement, there you can see we have the correct amount and the learning agreement is ready to print out with the correct information. So in every individual case, whether you're working in the central team, whether you're on the front line or back office, you need to think about when you need to print the learning agreement, because you need to construct the fee on EBS Central here in order to make sure that you're able to produce the learning agreement here. And just to reiterate, this only relates to when you process an enrolment through the staff hub. If you're processing a full enrolment through EBS Central, you don't have to worry about this. It's straightforward. And obviously, learners that are enrolling themselves online don't have to worry about it, because they get a confirmation with the learning agreement attached via email. This is the scenario where you have a learner that, for whatever reason, you need to print out a learning agreement there and then on the spot. Otherwise, you'll need to come up with ideas or different systems for your site in terms of letting the learner know if you are very, very busy at that moment and you're not able to print, because I understand that there are going to be restrictions to printing facilities at the sites, then you need to advise the learner that one way or another, you will be able to print their learning agreement and get it to them at a later date. And that may be that they're printed or recorded and that they're given to them at their first lesson. So again, as I say, we're hoping that there won't be too many cases where you have to do this printing. But if you do have to do the printing of the learning agreement, then you need to think about what your circumstances are, whether you can access the printout quickly enough, and whether when you get to the end of the enrolment process on the summary page, whether you've got time to get into EBS Central and record the payment. So just to recap, looking at these previous notes, recording payment for courses, you make sure that you're in the enrolment screen. You select the relevant waiver, attach it at the bottom of the screen. Then you save at the top of the screen. That will then take you through to the payments screen. If it's a concessionary learner, you change the N to a Y and click on save, but you double check that all your information is selected here. Then you click on pay selected at the top of the screen, which is saving the fee page and moving you through to the receipts page. And when you're on the receipts page, you want to double check that the amount is correct. You want to select payment as the receipt type. You want to ensure the method of payment, whether it's cash through the till, whether you're doing an AIMS or taking a credit card payment. And in the description, again, which is important, you want to indicate the course code, course title, the receipt number or the AIMS number, who you are and what team you work for, and then save. Okay, so as I say, this has been a quick recap on recording fees. Again, if you need additional support or information around this, then contact the MIS team and we'll do our best to give you some support. Thank you. Goodbye.